Welcome to Styled by Estelle.
I'm Estelle Winsett. I am a lawyer turned personal stylist for female lawyers. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about when you should be dressing for partner track and the psychology of dressing up and how that impacts how you're perceived by others. I often get asked the question, how soon should I start dressing for a promotion? And my answer is actually it should be dressing for it sooner than you think. I recommend probably 12 to 18 months before you're being evaluated for partner to be thinking about dressing like a partner. What you need to remember is people are making decisions on whether or not you should become a partner or not based on can they see you in the role of partner? Can they see you before the clients are in a client-facing role where you are the face of the firm? If you're not dressing in a way that has you looking like a partner, it's going to be harder for those who are voting on you on a partnership decision to vote you in if they feel like you are not going to be representing the firm in a way that a partner should. So I recommend dressing for the part long before you have it. You want to show the partners in the firm that you understand the seriousness of your role, that you take care in what you're wearing, and the attention to detail that you have in your clothes translates to the attention to detail that you have in your work. And you want to be thinking through that long before that promotion is going to happen so that you can ensure that those making those decisions can see you as an authority and know that you dress in an authoritative way. Sometimes I get asked, how much does what I have to wear really influence a partner decision? And I always like to talk about a theory called thin slicing. And what that theory means is that people make a decision about you, about your authority, about your credibility, based on a very limited number of circumstances. And for us, a lot of times it's visually. If you are walking around the office, but you don't necessarily know one of the partners who's voting on whether you should become a partner, if you look the role, then they're going to have a more favorable opinion of you. They're going to think that you're someone who takes care of business, that you're responsible, and that you know what is the right thing to wear in the right circumstance. It shows a judgment call. And if that's all they have to base their decision on you is how you're dressing, then you want to make sure that you're dressing in a way that's going to be helpful to having others feel like you look authoritative. Obviously, there are going to be lots of people who are voting on you for partner who know the quality of your work, but there are also going to be so many who don't actually know you well, and all they have to go on is how they've seen you in the hallway. And so every opportunity, you want to make sure that you look put together. And that doesn't necessarily mean looking like you're ready to go to court or in a head-to-toe suit, but it means that you've given some thoughtful attention to what you're wearing, that you look put together and polished, and that you're someone that the firm would feel comfortable putting in front of their clients. When we're in law school, we're told by the Career Service Office to wear charcoal, gray, black, or navy. And the reason we're told that is at the beginning of your career, you don't want to be known for anything but your good work. You don't want to wear anything too bright or anything too loud or distracting because you really want the partners in the firm to focus on your work. What works for you as a young associate is not the same rule that should apply to you as you are looking to become partner. You no longer want to blend in with the crowd when you are wanting to be seen as an authority and a representation of the firm as one of its firm's partners. So you want to be thinking about how can I show up in a way that is memorable and allows me to stand out from the pack in a positive way. With all things being equal, if they're looking at a pool of associates to decide who becomes partner and everyone looks the same, if one person has something that elevates the way they show up, it's going to be that differentiator that's going to show that you are someone who understands how to show up in a professional way and also in a way that has you memorable, which is the kind of thing that partners are thinking about because that's what you need to have for your clients. You want your clients to remember who you are and not for you to blend into the background. So go ahead and start looking like that now. Another thing to think about when you are trying to figure out clothes to wear to elevate your authority is to think about structure. Structured clothes are a much more clean line type of a look. So if you're wearing a structured blazer, it's going to look more authoritative and almost more serious than something that's a softer fabric. And you also want to make sure that you have a tailor. That's the advice that I give all of my clients, and I help them find a tailor if they don't have one, because clothes off the rack are not made for all bodies. And you'd be amazed at the difference that having something tailored just a little bit to your body makes it look like you have a custom made suit. So definitely think about having a tailor in your clothes, because when you have that impeccable fit of your clothes, then you are coming across as super polished and professional, and it's something that is so easy to do but makes a huge impact. When I'm working with my clients, I often tell them that we're going to have certain pieces in the wardrobe that are investment pieces and other pieces in our wardrobe that are more of a supporting role. And for an investment piece, I'm talking about those kinds of things that you would wear to a high stakes meeting. I'm talking about you want to spend more on a really nice, well-made suit. Because when you're walking into a high stakes meeting, if you're wearing something that is higher quality fabric, that's heavier weight, that doesn't have loose strings pulling on the jacket, that is just impeccably made, then you're communicating that you understand the environment that you're walking into. Because as an attorney, you're often walking into rooms with multi-million-dollar clients, and you need to look the part. You don't want to give them a reason to not trust you. And in those situations, having those investment pieces will demonstrate that you can read the room. It's a signal that you understand the importance of having well-made quality clothes, and also that you're taking the circumstance that you're in, the meeting that you're in, extremely seriously with competence and authority. I have a lot of clients who come to me who are in a male-dominated environment, and they want to look more like themselves. They want to feel more feminine, but they don't know how to do that because everyone around them is dressing in khakis, polos, and very casual clothes. So what I always tell my clients is you don't want to try to look like a man. You want to look like yourself and whatever femininity looks like for you. And you don't want to blend in with the boys because that's not going to have you stand out in an authoritative way. I encourage my clients to come up with their signature style. So when you have something that is specific to you, it's the colors you like, it's the colors that are the most flattering to your skin tone, it's the clothes that fit your body well, and it's the style that feels like you, then that's when you're going to be showing up with confidence. You're not going to be showing up like you're trying to imitate the boys or that you're wearing some kind of a costume. You're going to be showing up as who you are, and you're going to be seen with authority because you're going to show up with confidence with what you're wearing. The other advantage to having a signature style is that you are going to be known for certain things, and it doesn't have to be anything grand. It could simply be, I like to wear statement earrings. That's one of my things. So every time you see me, I'm going to have some kind of interesting pair of jewelry earrings on. Or it could be that your signature color is green and you're wearing some green every time you show up. The point of having a signature style is that people are going to know what to expect from you because you're going to show up consistently time and time again in a similar fashion. And that's what's going to build that know, like, and trust factor. But it's also going to have you be feeling like yourself. And when you feel like yourself, then you're going to be showing up with more confidence and truly in your own power. Another question that I get asked often is, do I have to really care as much about what I'm wearing when it's a casual Friday or a more casual environment? And my answer is yes. You need to look like you showed up intentionally in what you're wearing. It doesn't have to be a head-to-toe suit, but you want to show up as if you've given thought into what you're wearing and everything looks pulled together and polished. So the last thing you want is for someone to think you just grabbed something to wear or didn't know what to wear or threw in some jeans last minute and it doesn't come across as professional. You can still look professional and polished in a more casual wardrobe. You just need to make sure that everything fits you well and comes together into a polished look. One of the most underrated tools for leveling up your appearance is to have a tailor. So many times my clients will say, well, I don't want to have to go to a tailor because that's another step and that's annoying. But the truth of the matter is, if you take all your clothes to a tailor and have them just take in a little inch here or make the sleeves just a little bit shorter to fit the right spot on your arm, that is going to make all the difference in the world. It doesn't cost that much to do these tailoring edits to your clothes, but the result is you're going to be showing up extremely polished, like you have a custom-made suit on. And I always say that fit matters much more than the cost of what you're wearing. You could have on an extremely expensive suit. If it does not look good on you, if it's oversized or if it's too small, then that is going to look less professional than someone who has much more an expensive suit on that fits them like a glove. So when you're thinking about your clothes, don't worry so much about the cost. I always say buy the best quality you could afford, but the most the most stylish thing you can do is to have someone tailor your clothes to fit you like a glove, because you're going to be showing up professionally, confidently, and with authority. If you're someone who has a partnership decision coming up in 1 year from now is the time to start dressing and thinking about showing up as her. We often think, well, I'll wait until the month before partner decisions are made or before the partnership meeting. But really what you need to be doing is thinking about it long in advance. You want to have the partners in your firm think of you as that authoritative leader long before they make that decision. All of these first impressions that you're making are very important, because the first impression you make is the one that lasts the longest. So if you always take care to make sure you're showing up looking like a partner, even when you're an associate, then others will start to see you as a partner, and it'll become a foregone conclusion at the partnership meeting that you are ready to be a partner. So start now. Don't wait to the last minute to think about elevating your presence. It matters so much more than you think. Thank you for joining me today for the Dressing Like a Partner tracked episode. I hope that you found it helpful. And if you did, I would love it if you would leave me a comment, leave me a review, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends about it. I'm here to help all women attorneys level up and show up in their power.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.